and welcome to another edition of Hard Copy, the program where we bring you the people behind the news. I'm Amaechi Ogun. Well, tonight on the program, I speak with the Minister of Transport and former Governor of Rivers State, Amaechi. He answers questions on his work as minister and on whether or not he will be appearing before the presidential panel headed by the Vice President, Yemi Osinbajo, probing the ownership and circumstances around the $43 million found in a luxury flat in Ikoyi, Lagos. So, Honorable Minister Amaechi, you're welcome to Hard Copy.
Thank you very much.
Well, you've set for yourself quite a number of targets as Minister of Transport. You said that you're going to complete a number of projects, the the Lagos-Ibadan rail project, Port Harcourt-Calabar rail project. Now, how feasible do you think that these targets are, considering that you're already halfway through a four-year administration, a four-year term?
It actually would take 2 to 3 years to complete each of these projects. The actual truth is that from Lagos to Calabar can be done in 3 years, just like you can do the Calabar to Port Harcourt in 3 years. The problem we have is the funding. Currently, Nigeria doesn't have money to fund all the entire project. The entire project will take us about nearly $20 billion. Either way, no matter the way you go, you're close to 8 trillion naira. Now, again, that's what, let me repeat what I said that made one young man, I don't know who he is, whether Pastor Mokri or so, who is a spokesman for the former president. You know, President Obasanjo left some money in the excess crude account, nearly $68 billion. I explained before that under Yar'Adua, about nearly between $15 and $20 billion was spent, because by 2008 or 9, we ran into economic crisis, which Nigerians didn't feel, because Yar'Adua was taking money from the excess crude account to fund the economy, so most people didn't feel it. Now you felt it because there was no money left in the excess crude account for the federal government to use to augment the economy. Now, but at that time, after they spent the $20 billion, we were left with 48. Now, even when we were left with 48 and there were these rail projects, the president then, which is President Goodluck Jonathan, could have used $8.3 billion to do the Lagos to Kano. He would have been doing a free loan from the China Exim Bank. And then the President Goodluck Jonathan awarded the Lagos to Calabar, and we still had money. And that was, then in his regime was 11.9. When we came, we reduced it to 11.1. Means he said that it was too high. So we got to 11.1. There was also 11.1 in the excess food account. We'll have used that 11.1 to build that. But whatever it is, if we have the money, we will deliver in the number of years that we promised. But as we're talking now, the only approval we have is the Lagos-Ibadan railway, which we have promised you that we'll deliver before 2019. The
Lagos-Ibadan railway will be ready before 2019. What about the Lagos-Calabar project?
We don't have the money yet. We're waiting for China Exim Bank to approve. If China Exim Bank approves, the president has promised that we'll give our counterpart fund.
Because I was going to say that you realized all of these realities, I mean, after you became minister, before you made this targets.
Yeah. But I was hoping that the China Exim Bank will approve the money at the same time. But now they took time to approve Lagos-Ibadan. They are processing Calabar Port Harcourt, and they are processing Kano Kaduna.
Well, you also said that, you know, I think it was the Chinese Exim Bank was to fund 85% of the Lagos-Ibadan project initially, but then now they reviewed it to 78%. Is that right?
That's right. Well, they claim it's still 85%. That's what they claim. Or they have said that we must fund not just the 15%, but we must pay for the land acquisition, the taxes, the VAT. All that is what's culminated into the other this thing that makes it look as if it's 78%. Because if you remove that, then it's 85% of whatever it is. So in the $1.5 billion, they're bringing in $1.2 billion, and we're bringing about $300 million.
Are we okay on that? Do we have the money? Do we have the funds to do that?
We do. That's why the chairman of the Land Transport Committee in the Senate that's moving that the money we have now in the budget, which is meant for Lagos Ibadan, is moving it away from the railway service. We should think twice, because it's not just 60 billion that we need to pay. It's not just 72 billion. At the end of the day, the total money needed for the Lagos Ibadan will be about 100 and something billion naira.
When you accuse the former Jonathan government of not, doing a railway track when they could have afforded to do it with monies in the excess crude account, are you being totally honest? Because people would say that you were the one who led the agitation for the sharing of money in the excess crude account.
I will just respond to this question because you're not the public. Because I know as a friend I've explained this to you before. But I've also explained it to the public. I hope that this will be the last time I have to make this explanation before again. When I became chairman of the Governors Forum, we had this money in the excess crude account. And anytime you attended any of the National Economic Council meeting that I had once a month then, you saw that 1 billion had disappeared. And when he asked the then Minister for Finance, she would say the president directed her to spend. That money does not belong to the president, neither does it belong to the federal government. It belongs to the federal government, the state government, and the local government. So when you come to such a meeting and 1 billion had disappeared, and they say president said we should spend it, you keep quiet. At the next meeting, you ask for them to render their account, and then if it was, say, 48 billion, the first meeting it becomes down to 47. The next meeting goes down to 46. The next one 45. Then we began to agitate that they must then, if they are collecting this money without the approval of the governors, then we also want to partake in the sharing of the money. That agitation led to the expenditure of $10 billion. So you're still left with about $30-something billion. By the time we took over government, I didn't think we met up to that.
So you're saying that the states only received $10 billion?
Yes, that's what was shared at that time.
And the rest of the money?
I hope you know that. You can ask the government. I've said that's why I said that to Mokri, or whatever they call him, say abusing, because I said it. They should find out what happened to the rest of the money. Because don't forget, in the Goodluck Jonathan's government, they stopped us from holding NEC. By the constitution, NEC is supposed to hold once every month. They stopped NEC meetings. So we could not ask for them to render the account of that account.